Damn, dude, I'm hitting a hard pose, bro. Nah, dude, this is actually insane. Okay, so today I wanted to try something new. So I had an idea to like create a game where you can't really move around, but rather your rig. So let's just spawn my own rig. So your rig kind of falls apart. They can't really move, so you're basically just lying there, and you know, you have your limbs like I don't know, they're a complete mess. Like your body doesn't even have a proper structure anymore. You're just a complete mess. You can barely even like flop around like a dead fish or something like that, and then you can move and you can maybe even do stuff. So I thought I can actually create a system for that, and turns out I could, and I'm going to share to all of you how I did it. So just to show, when you spawn in, for some reason the game, I don't know, something doesn't load probably. It's probably because I'm really bad at coding, but something in the server script doesn't like really run that good. So we have to wait 2 seconds to make all the body parts collidable, which is kind of weird, but I don't know, I might find a way to fix that. But if not, this is not really that big of a problem. You just need to wait 2 seconds, and if you will make a game from this, you can just like add a loading screen or something like that. And yeah, so you can basically just flop around. There's no way of getting like on your feet. I don't know how this guy did it. I don't know what's his trick. Can you sell me your bones? Okay, I'm looking like I'm low-key touching myself or something like that. But this pose is so hard, dude. What's going on, man? And I'm going to show you first the server script. So inside we get the players, replicated storage, then we get a ragdoll event. So insert a remote event inside the replicated storage, and I will show you what it will be used for. Then we create a local function, enable ragdoll. We insert a character here, and then we try to find a humanoid, or actually a child which is a class of humanoid. Then you will also need to disable break joints on that. And down here, this is basically a whole loop which is replacing motor 6Ds with the ball sockets, and also destroying the original motor 6D joints, so we can have a ragdoll like rig. And if you don't know what motor 6Ds are, they're literally just joints. So if I open up the torso, here we have what is this, left shoulder. So left shoulder is basically a joint connecting this arm and the torso. All of these work the same for different body parts. And one last thing in this function is humanoid.platform stand equals true. What this does is it just makes the physics not work for this humanoid. And on here I added a player added and then character added function. And then we wait 2 seconds, because if you don't put wait, for some reason it doesn't really work, even though we get this print. So this whole for loop is just for the limbs to be collidable, so you actually have like a proper ragdoll. And then down here, this is where we get the remote event from the start. We get the character, and then if the action is ragdoll, then we fire this function from before. Or if the action is flop, which is like used for movement, then we get the root part, and then basically just apply some velocity, and also use the breeze to remove that velocity after like 0.1 seconds, so we can actually move around. And then here we have a client script which is inside the player scripts. So we get all of these things: input service, camera, ragdoll event, player character. And first of all, we fire the ragdoll event with the action ragdoll, so this can actually fire once we join the game. I also added a debounce just so you can't really spam the movement. We get the camera direction, so the player can actually move in the direction they're looking at. And then we use a bit of math and calculating the direction where the player will be going, and then send that to the ragdoll event using a flop action. And then we also disable the debounce. And down here, this is just so it can actually connect to this local function flop. So we use input service, and then when the input began, this is just so if the player is using chat, they don't like trigger any of the movement with these keys. We create new movement direction, and then if the key is S, we basically just change it depending on which key it is, and then we fire the flop function. And that's kind of it. I maybe make a full game from this, but I hope you guys can actually use this and create something yourselves. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe, and thanks for watching. Bro, I can do flips with my body. This is actually insane.